Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of some F1 2021 game news. Now, earlier today, 4 o'clock, Codemasters released this features trailer, but it's got quite a lot in. Yes, I did go and have a quick look as well in the time that I did have for any articles as well that may have had any additional info, but literally every article had, at the time that I looked, was a link to this YouTube video. So yes, I'm pretty sure most of you are all going to see it, but I'm going to point out some of the stuff you may or may not have missed, or may have not seen or spotted or not have heard of. Just to point out, those of you waiting for the F1 mod, that's going to be a slight change because I want to it's the final episode this week, so that's going to be coming on Friday and not tomorrow instead. But let's get into it. And as I said, the new American game, but obviously I can't show you the soundtrack, but as we get the same, we've got the start sequence as well. As well, I don't know if these are, is that Ferrari? Hang on, if I get it paused. I don't know if this Ferrari is actually the actual Ferrari that is in game. Excuse me, the Ferrari model, because I think the Ferrari was the only one that was still using the FOM sashi width. But I don't know if that's the Ferrari look. It looks a bit less like the generic FOM sashi for me. But those of you who know the Ferrari, the FOM and the Ferrari knows, will be able to tell me in the comments below. But there we go. We've got a spin for Giovinazzi as Alpha. Breaking point then. So looks like you're going to be teammates and then obviously this man is back, Devon Butler. Is he the main antagonist? Again, we thought he was. If we thought he wasn't, it's if and no, because obviously we got this bloke who's the team boss. So whether or not, it's a shame they haven't got the real life team bosses, because you're going to be driving for one of 5 teams, real life teams, not my team. It would be really nice if, I think that they could probably expand on this with a new team, and that would give it a little bit more of that authenticity, you know. Signing an experienced driver, which Aikman is, and then having like a rookie, having that balance that many teams like to have, really. So yes, obviously this is a cut scene where you end up crashing with your teammate. In this case, the simulations, I think, from this pictures are AlphaTauri, with your teammate. And this, if I just almost hang on, there you go. This person here, the older person, is Casper Aikman. He will be your teammate by the looks of it. And you can see here, this person on the left is us, whatever the bloke, I've forgotten what the bloke's called. But yes, so that's across 3 seasons. We've got driver press conferences. Aiden Jackson, just looked up his name. Press conferences. This is something we don't even have in the normal game. I would love if some of these features from F1, from Breaking Point, make its way across to the other career modes, my team, driver career mode, etc, etc, because we haven't got press conferences at all. Whether or not we will get press conferences in the other side, we yet to see. So yes, we've got Devon Butler and Aiden Jackson here, or is that Jack? No, that might be Aikman actually. Again, it's all a bit new. There's a bit more screenshots as well with the set that was 2021 as well. So whether or not the story goes like you don't get to move teams, that's definitely going to be an interesting one. Obviously, got co-op. or versus, excuse me, where you compete against you in basically in different teams. This was the wagon wheel, by the way, that I was talking about in one of the previous episodes. Notice that obviously you got current performance potential important, and then competition potential. So again, as an Alpine, you might not be able to max out the car. Bearing in mind, I think, sorry, what I meant to say is, as we all know, in previous games, different cars have different maxed out values, and this, by the potential performance, is the ultimate maxed out value on each department for that particular car. In this case, it's the Alpine car as well. We have, there we go, come on. This is the focus stat. We can see Daniel Ricciardo. We do have a screenshot later on the stats, but I don't think they're realistic. I don't think they're the final ones. I think they're still working on it, and I don't think we're going to see the final release of the stats maybe until like whatever the last weekend is before the game comes out, basically. But you can see this focus stat, 76 focus, and with the smiley face for Ricciardo. So again, this is a driver career mode, because clearly this isn't a McLaren. So there's obviously got your contracts and your customization, which I believe this hasn't particularly changed that too much from F1 2020. Only that this, because you could already view your teammates' stats in F1 2020 in driver career mode. So whether or not they've added, I don't think they've really added that much in terms of this side of the stuff. We'll have to wait and see what else they've added as well. Hang on, what's this happening now? There, and then we've got some more gameplay as well. Ice Squash, you've got, if I just roll it back, again, a lot of this is very high. You can see here, you've got practice 3 resource points, you've driver clean sector, so you've earned that development boost as well. So I don't know what that generic Alpine hat is. Just I don't know whether that's there. And you can see here that obviously I did talk about quick practice, but obviously you got that thing. You got race strategy. You got 5. It looks like you got just complete 5 things for each task, and looks like obviously you got the 2 of those are the points, and then 3 of those are the development excuse me, there. And track acclimatization is there, so that's interesting that it swaps out, because in the screenshot I've had earlier, this wasn't, track acclimatization wasn't there. It was a quali sim. So this is practice 1. So could we see that if you're driving for a team, or maybe even just my team in general, that they limit now your availability to do quali sims in practice 1? Because bearing in mind you had that sponsor objective, if you get like the fastest person, and you'd always have to do is just do a quali sim in practice 1. So maybe they sort of stop that by only changing that up and allowing track acclimatization. So that's, I thought track acclimatization was gone. It's not, so that's definitely nice to see. We've got some more cutscenes. Unfortunately, the podium cutscenes exactly the same as they were on F1 2020. They've been copied and pasted. It's as simple as that. Some more screenshots as well. We haven't really seen any hardcore driving play. There's updated during the season, we know. Can't remember when the last update was, because they haven't, obviously they've got this season, but they haven't then obviously updated them up post season. So but would you update them post season? that's a big discussion point. Would you want to just keep it at the end of 2021, at the end of the season? You don't then see any upgrades bearing on the opening performances in 2022. But yes, it's actually these are just numbers going up. The numbers can also go down. 7 My Team icons. That made an appearance in the last video as well. You got some My Team liveries. Looks like the same amount of customization. They've added some new stuff as well. I'm sure that a lot of the stuff that was in F1 2020 will be in F1 2021 because they were just copied and pasted it. I know Codemasters as well. We've got this title thing as well that was released as well. Some more screenplay really. Again, it doesn't look like obviously we got the intro graphics. I think that's released in as well. There's some wet weather gameplay. This is the intro stuff. And this bloke down here is Will Buxton. So I think he's doing an intro. This is something I wanted to talk about as well. This is the F2 showroom. I think this is the F2 showroom. Don't quote me on that, but if it is, then it's a new showroom for the F2 because the previous one looked like something from F1 2012. So that's something to look out for as well. As we just popped back here, it'd be nice if this was the team base though, and be able to walk upstairs. I don't think we're quite there yet, unfortunately. We've got My Team stuff as well with these same liveries. A little bit of a new cutscene here, whether that's just from qualifying or something that's, don't know. We've got department critical events. So basically, if I scroll back a minute, there was a durability one. They all require attendance basically to help them resolve an issue. And then you go to an event, and then basically you got staff burnout, which was something I did mention. So I don't know why they're staff burning out and durability, unless durability is going to be really hard. But basically, accept or decline. Basically, it's like the dilemma, but unfortunately, you're not really attending an event. It's just giving you the HQ screen that you do if you go on that department, and it does that. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they've made any actual changes to the HQs on that side of things, so that's a shame. Whether or not the upgrade part of that, which was a big concern from F1 2020, whether they changed some of that domain, I don't know yet. But it looks like that from visually, it's such a shame that this isn't a bit more interactive, really. And again, we're dreaming still of that day where you get to walk around your HQ, walk around the paddock as well. There was a bit more as well with a charity tour as well. So each of your HQs will bring up a dilemma any now and again, and basically you've got to press A or B. As well. And there was also a picture down the bottom of Ethan, I think his name is, replacing Carl in the game. We've got the same sponsors, achieve 5 points finishes in the season. Most of these are actually they're not a bit wacky. Not like the ones where you had to complete a number of laps, even though the number of laps changes throughout a weekend. Really had a bit there. This is the screen I was talking about earlier. We've got our we got some driver ratings here, but they look like potentially they could be from F1 2020. Notice also that there's the acclaim system here is what is going on here. It's like a jump from Vettel, Verstappen and Bottas on level 13, and then nobody's between them and Lewis Hamilton. So for me, I mean, the fact of the matter, Max Verstappen is worth more than $9 million. Okay, he's going to be a star of the future, and again, this is another stat that isn't in the game. Potential, overall potential, is something that FIFA does very well year on year with its stats. Not in this game. Obviously, they've introduced dynamic potential with focus, which again would be nice, which is okay as well. But we want to see that if the focus stays on a par, then if they keep having okay races, then this is what they'll grow into, basically. As well, we've got new menus as well. Well, when I say new menus, basically the career and solo menu. I presume that when you press on single player career, that it will then say, do you want to go to my team or do you want to go to driver career mode? And I do hope that that is what that screen does. Otherwise, I'm going to be very annoyed after they said it was in there. But it should be in there. Usual stuff as well. I'm going to bring it back. Hang on just a moment. There we go. To this screen, multiplayer. So what all the stuff that they've been hyping over about the changes to multiplayer, called social play and rank play. Yeah. So for me, social play is just an unranked lobby. It's not. It's basically saying, oh yes, we got this brand new feature for social play. Now there are stuff. I think they've changed the default parameters, but I think you might still be able to change stuff in this social play option as well. We've got some R&D parts. Obviously they highlight when they're done, each of them. Again, as I said in previous videos, this does look very much like Real Racing 3 in terms of the slide. You see though that one of parts in progress, it sort of highlights in green or whatever, blue, pink or yellow, but it's not, and you see the ones that aren't locked are unfaded. 24 days. Bearing in mind, obviously you've got the points, and obviously they've split the Sashi side into each part, so you've got like weight into themes, so you've got weight redistribution. You're no longer going to have to unlock a tyre upgrade just to get a final weight redistribution, which was something that was a problem with the tree. So they have made steps forwards with R&D as well. I've talked about quick practice. Choose your race style, casual, standard or expert. I have my own race style. It's called the Phoenix 84 race style, and it's basically with it's the expert setting, but with most of the core assists like braking, gear changes as well, but not clutch, not basically all the assists that were on F1, on the old F1 games. Anything that's been introduced after the old F1 games I haven't used, basically, as well. So I believe you can still customize your assists as well, which is basically but they've just introduced this standard, basically an expert, to really just hide the menus really, as well. So it's just trying to bring the casual player, maybe those people that are standard, maybe who are maybe play the game every year but aren't really that great at the game, maybe, or want a bit more simplicity. We've also, you see there actually settings. So this was, I believe this was casual, and then there was standard, and there was more settings in that 1 second frame. Split screen is back as well. Online multiplayer, yes. This is not multiplayer. That was definitely not multiplayer gameplay, I can tell you that, because I guarantee you they haven't. I'm pretty sure they haven't tested them. Stopped on the screen. If I roll it back, would this be multiplayer? More likely this is possibly a LAN gameplay, because LAN is in the game still, even though that I don't know any person that's ever actually used it to see if it actually works. It might just be a button that works, but yes, obviously we've got esports. This is from F1 2020, excuse me, as well. Apparently there's something about an arena as well, and then obviously change same scene getting out. So yes, that's pretty much everything as I've gone on. I've talked for 20 minutes. I've highlighted a few things. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you are new around here, then please do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 gaming videos, soon to be on F1 2021. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.